Looks like my audio is being registered. Well, perfect. Okay, great. I'm glad that that is finally registering. More. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to be using today, if I can ever hold anything in my hands, is there we go. I'm going to be using a quill. Bad lighting, I know, terrible. My quill and let's see, can it be seen in the little camera if I'm looking at another perspective? Indian ink, yes. Where did I put my ring? No, never mind. Okay, so I think starting off, I kind of just, it's been a while since I've actually done an inking like this. But for me, I have three small little containers. One of just like pure water to clean my, basically, my brush. And then I have another one to add like a light gray hue. And then I have my like pure black. And one thing I am forgetting while I'm starting doing this, great. I can speak. I learned the English language at the age of 0, so hopefully I should be able to speak. Okay. Oops. Alright, so now I have my like media source, or not media source, but kind of what I want to go off of. Let's see. Oops, already dropping ink. Okay, so all of this will be changed, but, or I can always change any of the physical drawing bits that I did. So if I make a mistake in ink, I'll just have to get used to it. And once I finish, I'll go back and finish. Once I finish, I will go and completely erase the errors of graphite. It's probably a bit hard to see, but so starting off in the actual image, there's like a little light halo around his head. So I'm still not 100% sure how I want to do the sky, but I know I kind of want to incorporate that into here. Oh wait, I'm forgetting something. I have to text someone. Flip around camera, come on, hurry. Don't you love technology and how it works all the time? It's just great. Okay, good. Sarcasm implemented up to 1,000. Perfect. Alright. So right here is the outside of his jacket. For some reason it's not taken as well as I would like. That's probably because it's not as much on a slant, so I'm probably gonna have to go back upwards instead of pull down. All right, I'm gonna pull that up there. And then after I finish doing the outlines, I'll be able to go back through and use my brush and get the light and dark hues. Because for some reason I really don't like doing light and dark hues with like cross hatching. It just doesn't feel as real to me, even though it is, but doesn't get that desired effect that I like. One thing that might be a little bit tricky for me is doing the fur wrap this guy's got, and so I'll still have to figure out how to do that. A little splot there. And then this is gonna come down. That will... One thing I will say is it's extremely hard to talk when you are trying to focus on how all the lines fit together, not smudging the ink all over. Alright. I do really... Okay, wait. So I actually have done a previous inking like on similar content, and I just kind of want to see what I did here for the hair. So, this is what I previously did. I don't know how well that's seen, but I think went up through the hair, and that's basically kind of like the same texture of the fur at this point. But I should first finish like inking out his hair. And his hair isn't like a perfect line, it's close, but there's still like little bits of movement, and actually that's with all hair. No hair is like perfectly straight unless the person's bald. And that way it just adds more realism, movement to it. Nope. Dropping ink all over the place. How was that being... it's not being picked up that well. Oh well. I'll just have to go back through and finish it out. So basically, nope, messed up that line. Probably should have just gone back and fully erased everything, but at this point it's more like tracing, and it's easier to trace than go off faint lines. Plus the whole thing will have ink all over it, so it'll be kind of hard to tell. All right. And then have the nose bridge here. In the actual photo, the eyebrows don't actually stick out that much, but I kind of just thought, what the heck. Might as well add a bit more. But I think I'll kind of tune them in a bit more. And I'll make them thicker eventually, but I don't know how well that's actually picking up, because I think I'd have to make thicker lines in order to make it show up a bit better, but oh well, worth a shot. And then now, I think if I want to start doing the fur over here, I should get his ear in. And then Gonna add that part of the ear. Going to make the... One thing is with like this, or with doing something this size, it's hard to like show all the detail that gets put in. And you kind of have to like figure how much detail you actually want to apply and how much detail you don't want to apply. Kind of leave the mind to figure it out on its own. And at this point, I've actually started to pick up the physical paper because I've been pressing in, so it's probably smart if I clean my nib. Make sure the ink doesn't splatter everywhere too. Oh, that's showing up kind of faint. Oh well. I'll still go back and paint over the thing, so it's not like that big of a deal. You just have to make it look kind of hairy. Or kind of furry. Yeah, that works. All right. Probably gonna have to switch to drawing like this so that I can get the ink. There we go. Oh, but that is so weird going from top down, but oh well. A bit more, a couple thin spikes in there. And then he's got a couple like spikes, and honestly I could just make a couple that, and that way it looks more natural when having the bigger spikes. If you have it all mixed in, then it just gives it that fine touch. Oh, looks extremely spiky. But you know what, maybe he got really into the culture of the early 2000s with spiky hair. That's probably what happened. So he probably like did frosted tips on his pelt. That'd be terrible if someone actually did that. I mean, it'd be funny in a sense, but it'd be kind of horrific. Am I smearing ink? I feel like I am. I am a little. Oh, come on. Actually pick up the ink. And then I can always go back over if I need to, because eventually this will all be covered. Oh, sorry. It'll all be covered up, but oh, no, I'm still gonna have to top down. And one thing it is hard to do is if the picture is originally in color and then you have to change it to black and white, it's hard for the brain, unless, I mean, I'm sure there's some brains that can easily translate something like this to physical inking, but my brain is not one of those. So I will not be doing that. All right. Have about an hour to do this. And only going for 14 minutes so far. Perfect. Got plenty of time. All right, and then now to have it come up alongside the physical jacket, and it will have texture and movement, so that's one thing I will have to remember. It's not like a smooth transition back to the leather. So it's more like he stapled on either a faux felt, not felt, but pelt. I mean, I guess dyslexia is the thing that makes you say funny words. Okay, that looks good, and then should... And I know I've said this in the other streams I've done, this will not be perfect. I'm not trying to completely replicate what I've done earlier, but I would like it to look nice and have some sort of reference, or not, resemblance. There we go. I said the word correct. Can I get a gold star for that? I don't think so. Not in kindergarten. Alright. I think on this one, I'll start lower. Not that high. I mean, it'll get painted over, so it doesn't really matter if I make that big of a mistake. But I think one frustrating thing is, as you continue, your brain realizes, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do this, or add that. And then it's like, one side looks completely different than the other side. I mean, it's obviously nothing is the exact same, but you know, still there's a bit of that. I want it to look similar. I want it to have like a similar resemblance to the previous side, so it's not like one style is completely different than the other. And this side is a little less, I guess, ferocious compared to this side, which has more spikes on it. And then wait. Nope, gotta flip around. How much of it does it actually? It's probably like down there. Like you can see here, this is not one continuous line. This is basically one continuous line. But it's also kind of as like you get the style of the thing, your brain just kind of like, I can kind of continue like this. All right. One thing I think I will go do is kind of clean up the physical fur, so when I get to inking, I don't have residue. Also, I should probably start on this side so I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, what's picking up? Oh, that is not dried ink. That's what's getting picked up. Like that. But you know what? It'll just add texture, and to quote someone or not to physically quote, but to make reference to someone I've physically never watched, Happy Little Mistakes or something along the lines of that. Mistakes are fine. I don't know what he does. Sorry, I'm supposed to be a part of this. a generation that likes that stuff, and I've never paid attention to it. Ah, terrible. Okay. So this will just have to be a bit of a darker section. That looks better-ish. Alright. Yeah, that looks more cleaned up. And then, let's see. Because I'm looking at the shadows, and I don't know if I want to outline the did I outline the shadows on this other one? I did. Actually, I'm just going to keep this one close so that I can go over it. I mean, sort of, but not completely. Like, I outlined the darkest... It's probably not smart to be... Because I talk with my hands, so it's probably not smart to be going around my bedroom with this. Okay. Let's see. I think... Now to get into a little fine detail. There's a bit of like a... Oh. Kind of comes through here. Need to keep that nice and tight because it's like his zipper. And then that's just all blacked out. And then this, I can kind of fade it in. So it's like popped out here, and then as the zipper kind of pops out, and then goes flush with the physical jacket. And this is just part of the physical jacket right here. Ooh, and then I should have left more space for that, but oh well. But I can come through here and add that. I'll need to retouch up his... Might need to erase it and then actually go back over and pencil and finish up his jaw just to, you know, figure out how. Because the physical picture makes him look older, and how I have the jaw right now makes him look like he's in his young 20s. Or maybe teens. It's not something exactly that I want. Kind of come through here. So there's a bit of that space. I don't want to do too much of that because right now I'm just looking at the version that's not colored. Or that does have color. I can't speak without flipping around my words. That sort of sticks out there. From what it looks... I'm not actually quite sure what that is. When I first... Okay, so there's like these little patches that go in right here. And to me, I registered those as like armor plating, but it looked weird. But looking at it now, it looks like someone just put a jacket over his own jacket. And that's why it has these odd shapes to it. Could be wrong. But who knows? Because I feel like this wants to drip. It's going to bleed all over. That's better. I don't know. But right there, and then... How far does it come up to our shoulder? Okay, so no, it hits here, There's like a separate little patch No, I could still make this work. I just realized what I was I was realizing that the red comes farther out down there, but you know what? I will make it work. I have to, obviously. And I'm gonna stop there because her jacket, oof, the arm's there. How far back does it go on her arm? No, it doesn't like completely go past the back of her arm. Nope. Okay, I need to check something. Alright. Did I get a response? I know, it's terrible. I need to check my phone whilst. Sorry, I have to say whilst like that because that's how life is. And then her hair is braided. So I think I should have a bit more movement to it. One thing I will say I'm like shocked at myself is I know not a whole I actually don't know how many people or if anyone is watching at the moment while I'm doing this, but my hands are so shaky doing this. That's nope. It's probably just because I want to get this right and make it look good. And there's kind of going to be a faint line that comes through here. Another section, so it's going to be braided off. And this kind of comes up through here. Make that a little wavier. So it's like done in separate sections is what it looks like to me. But I don't want to mess it up. Yet I say it's okay to make mistakes. I know, what a shame. Okay, and then also she's got this natural line that kind of comes in to her hair. I'm gonna stop there because I need to like actually physically. I'll do that in another section or I'll do it off camera. Because I just want to make sure I get that right. Because faces are like one of the things I'm really good at, but also something that I don't like making mistakes at. Okay. And it is 12:45. Okay, perfect. I can't believe I'm doing this early. Quote unquote early in the day. And then it doesn't actually go that far down, but there is. Oh, come on, board. You're supposed to be helping me here. You should be behind the physical thing. Okay, yeah, some of it is actually getting picked up. But it'll look better when I finally go back and erase everything. Let's see how straight of a line I can get this. Oh, there we go. Now that's decently straight. And that'll have to do. Let's see. Okay. Come through here, make that line. Is there an actual line? There is. Okay. So if I come through here, there's a physical indent. Right. If it's on flat paper, I can do that, but if it's not on flat paper, I can't do that. Okay. I'll just do a sketchy version of it. Whoops. I mean, I didn't make any mistakes. What? Who made mistakes? No one here that I know. It's all perfectly clean and clear and visible. I would never make mistakes. Oops. I mean, what? Okay, and then comes down here. Yeah, we'll need to darken up that corner. And then I wish I could do that. Oh well. Okay, I think I'm gonna indent that just a smidgen of mistakes. Okay, and then that is a very tall window, but I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm going to make plenty of errors. Okay. Then also, nope, still can't do that. I should have just called this retraining the brain, because I am legitimately kind of painting up, inking upside down. Nope, stop going shaky. Boom. And boom. Perfect. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then, oh, that's one, you know what, never mind. We're all good here. I know nothing of what I speak of. And what I speak of is nothing. There are no things I coulda or shoulda or ought to have done. And then it gets this little indented section, then pops out right there. Oh. Was that me? I might have spilled some ink. Oh well. All's fair, love and war. Which doesn't really apply here, but you know what? Oh well. Okay, and then focus mode engaged. Oh. Let's see. That. And then if I move this over there, that looks a whole heck of a lot better. Yeah, I like that. Looks good. Now I might be able to erase some of the top part of his face, but need to come in through here. We can get that earlobe done. Okay. Yeah. That looks pretty decent. Decent is, nope, decent is just stress. Okay. And then, what else do I want to move on to? 35 minutes already. Okay, that's crazy. I might just want to start inking, or like painting over that, because that might be the most fun right now. Because it's best to always move around on your page, so you aren't like in one single section. Your brain doesn't devolve into someone that only focuses on not minimal details, but you know, one magnified section of an area. How does it go? Okay, so I think, because this section right here should be the waterfall, and that's not exactly visible. I mean, it sort of is, but oh well. Am I spraying ink all over? I hope not. Okay. And then... why did I do that? Nope, never mind. Or I was saying, why did I do that? Because I realized how I'd put up some of the inking, or the structure of it looks a bit odd comparatively, but you know what? Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well. But I want to redo the hand, like rebuild the structure of it, because in the actual image it shows like a hand with a glove on it, and it's got spikes all over it. I just don't like that. I mean, maybe I can inquire part of the glove in there, but it's not something I want to... I could do like a cutoff glove, but that might be a little bit hard to see. I just don't like what they did with it. But, oh well. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side first. And I want to get into the physical cleaning of... I want to get into the physical part of cleaning my quill so that it's not leaving ink stains all over. Okay, so going into the black and white, I will be returning to that, but the brush. These are more bulky than this side, but oh well. Okay. That whole section that I just erased kind of like just pops off the page. Perfect. So yeah, I'm definitely going to, you know what? No, I won't do that right now, but tighten up here, and then once I get that jawline in, it'll look great. So on the black and white image, this whole section is like basically obliterated in the darkest dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my ink in my like pure black and then put it in the medium. I don't think I showed this, but I have like these little, oh whoops, no, there we go. These little cup things that were used for like little hair product stuff, and I'm just gonna go over it with a nice medium, nice like light wash. And this way, as I layer on top of it, because there will be buildup of the physical ink and water, that it will create little different dark patches in there. And then right now I have a bit more ink, so that will add a bit more. I do kind of want to, so it like rotates around his neck, so there will be more. And right now I'm not like, I'm using the physical image that I have more as a reference than anything else. So it's not like if I make a mistake, that's just because what am I trying to say? I want to say something about, no, what I'm trying to say. Actually, I want to dip into like the normal stuff. Normal-ish. Yes, great, you can see that. I'm going to completely forget my train of thought because that is how all artists are. We're stuck in our own little worlds, on our own little planet. It's great over here. I mean, on this planet, you can actually go outside and breathe. There's artists all around. So much creativity. Okay. And then how does that blend? Nope, it's like this is all light over here and this is just going to be dark. So I'll get like a darker wash in here and just start kind of tuning everything up so its base is even darker. So that way I can leave, it's basically inverse. Oh, we'll have to go over that. To me, inking is such a weird combination of going inverse painting and non-inverse painting. So that, I will actually have to get some darker stuff. And right now I'm like, I have a little cardboard sheet under where all my ink, or where my ink is, so that I can put some of the ink there and kind of go back and do little touch-ups and like also have the ink spread out so I'm not getting like my darkest dark yet. All right. This is actually coming to a good start. It's been a while since I've done something like this. So now, after like I finish this whole little section, I can always go back and take my quill and just like add a bit more detail to everything if I want. Like give it some sharper lines, give it more angles in here, just to kind of give it that feel of there's more movement and it's not just, you know, really basic. I don't know how well I'm actually explaining everything and how well I'm just, you know, going off into artist land and doing my own thing. But I hope to do several more of these because I think it's quite fun. It'll be more fun when more people join, but okay. So now dipping more into my darkest color, can add little highlights. And that dark color will now start to fade as I continue going on and following different lines. Basically, to me, I'm like how my brain is registering all this, it's more chaos. And you just have to know like the general direction that you kind of want everything to go out of. Because I will say hair is kind of hard to do. It's a bit more chaotic unless you want to do like every individual strand, which will take a very long time to do. It's doable, but it gets very chaotic. All right, and then I personally need to just, or not personally, I don't know why I said that. I just have to go and darken up these little lighter areas and then leave a couple little spaces where those light areas can sit, because that will provide little highlights. And then I also need to go back and finish adding even more dark hues to this. So the base tone will look like it has like more highlights, because it's not going to be all pure like white like that. Because yeah, there's some of that, but it's more like down here, and it's more actually it's more of that color. But you know what? I always start out with a wash, so yeah. All right. Now I'm going to take spilling stuff. I'm going to take my quill and kind of come in here. And so one thing that is an issue sometimes is if you're not working on inking paper and or paper that has gotten too wet, it will start to be picked up and it'll create a weird texture. So my best suggestion for that is like waiting for it to dry and then going back and touching up, because this area right here, it's so soaked that like the paper fibers are actually starting to rip apart. So if I go and touch that area up, it's not going to do a whole heck of a lot. All right. Actually, how... It's not like super visible what I'm actually doing right now. I'll have to see, because I know I have to adjust like the actual image size that's being shown. So that'll be one thing I can do to make it so there's better visibility. But until I fix it, I am just going to have to deal with what I have created. So I don't know how much of the little lines are being shown, but hopefully more are being shown. And for the little lines, I'm just doing small areas because what the little lines are showing is that there's an overlay, so it's shadow that I'm adding, not like defining something. It's more the shadow. It's being exhumed from the grave. Exhumed. I don't think it's exhumed, but whatever. I qualify as a dyslexic and I can say stuff that doesn't make sense. Ish. And I'm trying to go over like the darkest areas with my ink. That way it blends in nicely. Sometimes you can go over the light areas, but I wouldn't suggest doing it too much. And if you do, make it small little lines. That way it doesn't look over exaggerated, unless you kind of want to go for an over exaggerated feel. This is just more small detail work that I'm kind of getting into. Actually, I don't know. This actually might take me less than 7 hours to do. We'll see. Because my goal was to have it done in at least 7 hours, but maybe not. I could totally be wrong, and it could be done in longer amount of time. Also, you don't have to do lines that are super straight if you're doing like fur or faux fur. You can kind of give them a bit of a wave to them, and that will give it more of a sense of realism because they aren't all going to line up. And you're also showing not just one single hair that's being shadowed, but multiple hairs at once. And it is 1:09. Okay, so I might have to do a good portion of this offline, but hopefully more people will actually come and join the next time I do this. I'm gonna add some shadow, like texture on the outside line before it transitions into the lighter section, because this whole section is supposed to be dyed red, and normally when you put red in black and white, it looks darker. I mean, of course, it depends on what hue of red you're doing, but yeah. And of course, I know you can always go back onto my channel and watch this, but I'm also going to be uploading this to YouTube. So hopefully some people will, actually I'll need to like start saying, hey, I'm live streaming on YouTube. That's something I should do. Also like fully get my Twitter active. And then more people can come and join. And then I will have world domination. I mean, what? Huh? I didn't say anything. Okay, so looking at, it's physically shown on the screen, you can see texture. I mean, that counts for something, right? Hopefully I will like upsize the screen so it'll look better, but Who knows? Okay, so now, what is this color? I want to go in and add the lights, or the lighter part. And that can kind of be shown. But that's actually the ripple in the page that's being shown. Right, wait, can I do it looking at the screen? Right here. That whole area above my finger is, because this whole area is getting more light. But, so yeah, one thing when inking or doing any type of art that will become tedious, but if you're really into it, just reminder, always layer. I suggest you always layer. That's what I was going to say. And that way, more detail will be added, and it'll give more of an in-depth feeling to everything. Let's see. It's actually going to get more of a darker hue coming up here. Like as I get into here. Yes, there we go. And right now I'm just adding highlights to the tips of the fur, because for some reason when it got turned into black and white, got registered as darker. Now I'm like craving to do a Matrix kind of one. I think that'd be quite fun. One thing I wish is that I really want to figure out how to do music or have music, but I'm afraid to actually like figure out how to get music actually playing, because I don't want to get copyrighted, and I think the music I like isn't what everyone else likes, which, I mean, is a little frustrating when your music isn't, when your own music isn't socially, or is accepted, but it's not something that a lot of people like. But it's music that drives you and makes you work better. Also, tip if anyone is getting into creating a piece of artwork, listen to some music while you create, or listen to an album or something, and you just really get into that mode of creating, and you kind of get to have fun and just go somewhere. You kind of go into a different dimension. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I'll need to add some more, because I'm focusing on this little area, so I'll need to add some more in there. So kind of coming in here. Oh, that is a little dark for what I wanted to start out with, but you know what? It will have to do. And then adding, washing that color out. Okay. Oh, wait, no, that didn't do anything. What? Weird. Yeah, this whole section still looks a little like cut on camera, and it's stepping away. I think that might have tightened it in just a little bit better, but I mean, technically this whole area is a little bit darker, but whatever. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go in with a darker. And this is one thing I really love about using a brush in these types of situations is you don't have to make fine lines. I mean, you need to make sure everything looks good and is presented well, but you don't need to make fine lines. That's where the beauty of the brain comes in. Okay, yeah, I think I like that. I'll just need to go in here and like add some more lights, or not lights, but the little hairlines. And so what I'm going to attempt to do is, it doesn't really work that well, but no. Okay, so I attempted to do like a medium wash of ink, but it's a bit hard to do, so I just need to make sure. Oh, wait. Duh. I have a quill I never, ever, ever, ever use, which is, wait, can that be seen? Is that, here, I'll show it to the big camera. This guy, which is hardly ever used. Actually, I think I've used it once, and that was for testing. And so this one is better at, I think, yes. This one will be better at those small little lines that I kind of want in here. Oh, need to watch out because this whole area is a little bit more damp than I would like it to be. And this one I'm not like doing as thick, I'm kind of doing more curly lines, which I don't actually think is showing up. Oh wait, hold on. Does that help? Hopefully it does. Nope, I'm out of ink. Okay. Please make small little... And technically you could probably do this all in like pen if you don't have ink and just use... Yeah, you could do this whole thing in pen and use like, I don't know, watercolors or singular watercolor. I think it'd sort of be similar, but I mean, it would be more on the cheap end. Of it, but you know what? It would work for low quality, or not for low quality, but you know, if you don't have the same materials, that could be something that could be done. Yeah, that I like that. That feels very, well, if it was actually showing up on camera, feels very nice. But I think what you can at least see is that there's that movement to it, there's that nice, you know, it just feels nice. And works well. Oh. I forgot to plug in my phone. And oops, my bad. So I think, oh, I might actually have someone else viewing. Okay. So I'm going to start on this side. And I will start with a nice wash coming in here. And these little lines that accidentally got created by me erasing will be able to, or more likely to disappear now. Or they'll just blend right in, hopefully, fingers crossed. Alright, and then I'm going to leave a little light spaces just so I can have those highlights when I finally come in with the ink. And then going off my physical image, it shows that this, it's a little too dark, but oh well. This whole side is going to be more, no, actually it's not that dark, never mind. This side is a bit darker than that. I'm going to add more dark highlights over here. What can I say? I have to jump around. Okay. And now, coming through here. Then going with my going with a medium hue. I can come in here and start adding some controlled chaos. Getting some of those darker lines in. Now to highlight, or go over with even darker lines on the dark areas, we'll add more of that texture and variety. So this side might turn out a little different. I will say it's always weird doing one side and then hopping to the other side and like trying to base your work off the other side you just did. But oh well. That is life. Okay. And then I think going over with another wash, getting rid of some of those ultralight, or not ultralight, but lighter highlights. So now there's only like a couple that will be picked up. Oh, that area is already starting to get damaged by water. It is an hour and 10 minutes, so I think I'm getting a little tired, but because I can already tell that my voice is already like kind of dropping off a little bit. But oh well, I guess, I think. I think I'll just have to call it quits now. And then by next time I should have this filled out, have fixed the face, finished her face off, and then I can like start getting into the rest of the detail of it. So I will see you guys later.